afternoon or evening, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the My Kind of Thing May Imbali Crochet Together. Not crochet along. It's a little bit different. Let me just make sure that I can see comments. Oh, I'm feeling a little under the weather today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me see if I can do it a little bit different. Okay. Okay. Let's see. I just want to make sure that, like, maybe if I do it this way, I can see the comments. Nope, still not. I don't know why. I don't know why it doesn't allow me to see them over here. Like, the only time I'm able to see the comments is when I'm on my phone. Can you all hear me okay? Am I coming in good? Let's see. Let me just make sure. Oh, is that the... Let me see what things are. No voice? No sound? Okay, Daphne says she can hear me. And Renee says she... Okay. Oh, wait. Comments are coming up here. Okay. I think I might have it right. Okay. So... All right. So for the person that can't hear me, maybe you might want to go out and come back in. Welcome, welcome, welcome to part 2. Hey, everybody. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Ola Joe. You know what's so funny? You are new amongst the My Kind of Thing University, but that is something that had my students and the My Kind of Thing University students have been saying for years. I do have normally it's just a low speaking voice, so it's just hard for me to, like, I don't like to talk really loud. But okay, we're here, and we're together. And if you have been crocheting with us, then you might have this much done. Thank you. If that's a compliment, I don't know. I think sometimes, depending on what it is. Now, because I have now done this design 6 different times and 6 different colors, I decided that the 7th version is going to be a rainbow kind of situation. So I have changed the colors. Now the pattern does not call for that, but that's what I'm doing because this is my 7th version. Okay, so what I need to do now is I need to pull up the pattern. Let's see. And I don't know why this was suddenly, like, I feel like I'm getting a cold. Okay, here it is. And we are up to part Good evening. We are up to part 2. Okay, so if you have been crocheting with us, then you are here. You should have this part done. The head and body is attached. Now we're working on the limbs today. I do believe today is the limbs. Let me just check to make sure. Forgive me if I freeze for a second. But yes, today is limbs. And then, I don't know if you all know, but we come back on Sunday. We come back on Sunday. And then on Sunday, we do the, I think it's the wig cap in here. Yes, I know. We have a few people that are ahead of the class, right? We have a few overachievers. Okay, so I have my hook. It's a 3.5 millimeter hook. Stitch markers. Where did I put my stitch markers? I got my stuff in. I got my straight pins, but I don't even need the straight pins. Oh Lord, of course, I know I always forget something. Can you go over row 15 with the wig cap? Okay, so, is that part of today? Not for nothing. I don't think that that's part of today, but row 15, what do you need to go over? Like, what part of it is causing me confusion? Emanuela. I think the wig cap is scheduled for it is, but if you know, because it's like right underneath the head and body. I mean, so if there's something that I can like explain that's maybe confusing, because I don't want, you know, if Emanuela's like kind of moving ahead, you know, I don't want her to be stuck and have to wait until Sunday to get started if she's ready to get started. Where the heck are my straight pins? I mean, forgive me. I'm going to be sniffling a little bit. I need y'all to bear with me. I have had a very, very strenuous week. A very strenuous, tumultuous week. And I am in the process of trying to do a lot of things in a short amount of time. Okay, hold on, let me. I don't know where the heck I put my straight pins. Hold on. Got my buttons right here. I mean, not my straight pins. I keep saying my straight pins. My stitch markers. Shout out to Chastity Stanley. You know I got to say it every time. I have a whole container of stitch markers. And that's the thing. I'm in the process of packing and stuff. And so I'm moving a lot of things around. Oh my goodness. Forgive me for the sniffling, but I am just like, it just kind of came on suddenly. Like out of nowhere. I honestly, I don't know. I was out in Queens on Wednesday, ill prepared for the rain. So that could be the cause. I'm trying to see where the heck. The last time I had them was the last time we were here. I don't think I moved them. How about this? Has anybody started on the clothing yet? Do you have an idea of what the clothing looks like? It's so weird. I was totally fine, and then around 3 o'clock, I started like feeling congested and sniffly. And I don't know what that's about. And of course, I like legit, I move things around. I don't know. I just need one stitch marker. Just need one. And I don't have a single one right now. Stitch mark. I just need one stitch marker. Where the heck are my stitch markers? I'm telling you, I've been having a very, 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 oh, you know what? Boom. I'm gonna just borrow one from this design that has one leg. I only need one though, so there we go. I have been, like I said, moving things around, so things are kind of getting misplaced and moved around. Okay. Are we ready? And I don't usually keep safety pins. Emanuela, I need, if you want, you can explain to me what aspect of the wig cap row 15 is giving you trouble. Okay, so because for this design I am using my kind of string yarn, and of course I don't have a fresh ball here so I could kind of plug my joint, but the description, in the description of this live, there is a link to purchase the companion pack for this design. There is also a link to purchase the pattern so that you can kind of join in with us. I'll be using brown sugar because that's the color skin tone I'm using for this design today. And we are starting with, you know what, I like to do legs first. I don't particularly do arms first. Funny thing about this design is, like a lot of my designs now, I've always liked the leg up design, the look of a leg up doll. And the only thing I didn't love was that the leg up design doesn't allow for sitting and whatnot. And so I had to come up with this kind of way of doing it so that it'll have the look of a leg up design, but also the flexibility of a design that is not made leg up. And so here is what, or one way, or one version of what your doll will look like once it's completed. But you see the cute little body, and the legs are really cool because you can kind of sit her, you know, she could both sit and stand. So that's one of the really cool architectural components of my design. You see her little knees. Now I'm showing this one because the other ones, they have their clothes on. It's funny because they went with me to career day on Wednesday. I had career day. So look at how cute the face is. And here's the other thing. Purchasing the companion pack will comes with the yarn, all of the yarn that you're gonna need, the earrings, the eyes and the lashes, and the little appliques, flower appliques, to make her even more special and more cute. Okay, so let us get started on the feet. Right now, notice the feet start a little bit different from the way the head is done. And so what size are the shades? The shades are for an 18-inch doll, I believe. I was trying to find them wholesale because the shade of blue that I like, it doesn't come like in multiples. Like, so I bought them off of Amazon, and you can buy 6 at a time. You can buy 10 at a time. When you buy 10 at a time, it's like one color, and depending on what the color is, it takes a while to get here. But they're 18-inch doll sunglasses. But as you can see from your pattern, the feet don't start like how the head and how the head starts. It's slightly different. And the reason for that is because I think I mentioned it before. The the head, when you start with six, the it creates like a little bit of a point. It's subtle, but it's enough to make me like, nah, I don't want that. And so the the feet are started a little bit differently, as you can see from your pattern. Does anybody have any questions? Um, does anybody have anything that kind of gave them a little bit of trouble? What I really like, can I say, I am really, really proud of to see that you all are in the My Kind of String Facebook group. Really, really on schedule. It looks like we may not have, I don't want to say we ain't going to have any delinquents, but we might have less delinquents than we are accustomed to. Oh my gosh, the sniffling is killing me. I don't know what that's about. But it's Friday, y'all. It's Friday. So we're going to crochet this together, and we're going to kind of talk a little while we crochet together. Is that cool? I know that one of the things that I do struggle with sometimes is talking and making sure that my increases and decreases are right. So if I get a little silent or quiet, it just means that I'm trying to make sure I don't mess up my decrease. I struggle getting 12 stitches in to start. It's too tight. Oh, okay. So this is where those people that love doing the magic ring will brag, but now there's a way to do it where, for me, where I wrap the yarn, like I tuck the tail, and so once I got all of my 12 stitches inside of the ring, I pull it, and when I pull it, it tightens the opening, and it closes it. So I don't typically have that issue. Doing your best to keep up, no problem. Listen, the way that I have it spread out, and it's a small design. So the way that it's spread out, you can absolutely, like, you know, get at least, should be able to get at least like maybe one done, depending on the details, right? Because the other thing too is, I don't know what hairstyles you all are picking, because there are in fact 5 options for hairstyle. And so, but we're increasing up to, let's see, up to, we're increasing up to row 4, and we're increasing to 30 stitches. So that's another thing, like, because I feel congested, can you make your dolls with finger and weight? You could, but I don't. For one, you'd have to switch up the hook size, and I don't know what the proportions would be. I don't recommend it, only because I just don't use finger and weight yarn. And what happens is, when you use a different yarn than what the pattern calls for, proportions get wonky. I wouldn't know what hook to go down to. And I wouldn't recommend keeping the same hook size. Like, so I don't know. I don't crochet with finger and weight yarn, so I just wouldn't. Um, but you can. Um, I don't know. Like, I know that it'll come out extremely small. Because even with a softer acrylic, it comes out smaller. But one of the reasons why I use 4-ply worsted weight yarn for my designs is because one, the texture I think is really good for doll making. The stitches don't stretch like how they're known to do with yarns like cotton. Like a lot of people recommend cotton yarn for amigurumi. I do not. Cotton stretches entirely too much over time. It's annoying to clean, so I don't use cotton. I think I might have used cotton one time and I was extremely annoyed. I sent the pattern to you already, Tia. Check it. Did you receive the pattern? Because you should have. I received your purchase. 1, 2, 3. Check your email because I did send it. And typically, I send the pattern within 24 hours. If for some reason you purchased and you haven't received the pattern within 24 hours, message me. But usually you should have it like, depending on where I am and what I'm doing, usually as soon as I see the purchase, I send the email with the pattern and all the information. So you definitely should be able to start, unless you are also waiting for your companion pack to come. But yeah. So there's that. I hate that I'm sniffling so much. But yeah, so I've been just, you still have companion packs and eyes available. Sure do. Sure do. I don't know how many is left, but there, you can definitely check it. The link is in the link is in the description of this live. And shipments orders are going out tomorrow afternoon. So if you are trying to get a companion pack, because Mr. Stevens is going on vacation for a few days, so he's shipping out all of the items tomorrow. Anything ordered after today won't be able to be shipped until about Wednesday. Well, actually not even Wednesday, about Thursday or Friday, possibly even Saturday of next week. So now we got 1, 2, 3, 4. I am on row 5, and y'all know, so you go in the back loops only for this row because it creates the flatness of the foot. I don't know why I hate the feeling of feeling congested. Like, it is so annoying. But yeah, so far, what's your favorite aspect of this design? I'm gonna tell you, I absolutely love I love the accessories that I cut with the cutting machine. Like, I love the earrings and things. The flowers are really cute. Oh, by the way, there are 2 hair accessory options in the pattern. That's the thing. So you have 5 hair options and 2 hair accessory options. So the instructions for the bow is also included in the pattern. And it's a really cool bow. I've been doing this bow for years. One of the reasons why I do my bows like this is because I don't love how people wrap the yarn for the middle. I don't love that. I don't like that. So years ago I was just like, no, I want the whole thing to be crocheted. I think sometimes wrapping is cheating. And you're not having a hand sew the head and the neck. You know what? I kind of miss it because it makes the head and neck not necessarily as, like when my other designs where the head is attached, there is a bit of movement. Whereas this is little, but you know, it's not a whole bunch because it's all one piece. But it does cut down the crochet time, right? So I think that's a good thing, right? Um, okay, so after row 5, I'm on row 6. It's just a regular. I need to make sure I have 30. So let me count to make sure. Um, so one of your favorite aspects is the hair. Dr. Felicia Williams Jackson. Felicia Williams Jackson, did you order a companion pack? I believe you did. Let me know if that's you. We're working on right now the feet and legs. So today we're doing limbs. Part 2 is the limbs. Okay, so what you didn't include was you didn't tell me which colors you wanted for the skin tone, for the hair color, and the clothing / accessory colors. So when you get a chance, you could just message the shop because we're packaging up the orders tonight so they can go out tomorrow afternoon. And I don't want you to have a color that you don't want. So you have the option to pick from fudge drizzle skin tone or brown sugar skin tone. And as far as hair color, somebody, I don't remember who it was, but I was going over the packaging slips and somebody had requested, I think it was Patricia Patterson, are you here? Is it okay that I shouted out your whole first and last name? But I think Patricia asked for mermaid water for hair, I believe, which I thought was really cool. Clothing purple, any hair color, and any skin color. Okay, so purple. You know what? I need to write that down so I don't forget. And of course, I don't have no pen and paper here. What good is this? Okay, you know what? Just sit her here and remind me. Purple. And you don't have a preference on skin tone and hair color. Yeah, that mermaid water. I mean, not mermaid water, that fairy berry. I love the shade of purple. It's a really pretty medium purple. Not too dark, not too light. But yeah. I think this is a cool way to spend a Friday night. No? All skin and hair colors are beautiful to me. Absolutely. Absolutely. I love the way certain colors complement certain skin tones and all of that too. I think it'd be really cool for but with the purple, I'm wondering, I think I have in mind what skin color and hair color I want to see you make with this design. So this one in the fairy berry is the brown sugar skin tone with the dragon glass hair. And then you have that option. You could do dragon glass hair with brown, with a fudge drizzle skin tone. Like I really do love my browns. I gotta figure out. We gotta get it together to reorder. Because the coconut cream is really cool. Oh, I can't show. I almost picked her up. Thank you. I almost picked her up because they're clothed. The others are clothed. They came with me to career day on Wednesday, and they were so popular. I loved it. Do you, Tia? Okay. So let me get y'all opinion. Who else feels really good about the YouTube way? Because I know that normally in Facebook we do, and my hands are on camera, right? And that's usually because we're doing assembly and we're putting things together. So I kind of need you to see just my hands. But I feel like the Crochet Together vibe, and for it being on YouTube, I want it to be less technical and more social. right? Which is kind of funny when you think about it, because it kind of should be the opposite, right? People go to YouTube to learn things, especially, from this standpoint, right? Um, it's kind of funny. And Facebook is supposedly the social component, and we kind of have been doing it in the opposite way. But I like the social component of this. So, who else prefers this way, or misses our private little you know assembly live video? Because see, this way, can't wait to be able to finish a project in a week. The more you do it, the faster you'll get. Um, but yeah, I like this. I think we're definitely gonna do more of this. I'd love to just have crochet sessions, like a set day for crochet sessions, for us to just. I told you we still have to do a makeup day. Hey, Barbette, we still have to do a makeup day where we just get the projects that we have, like pieces of, like that one-legged doll that I just had. You like the YouTube way too, Renee? I think it's cool. It's cool. And it's funny because y'all always hear me and see my hands. And I think it might be cool and better to see me and talk. This is a little bit more, I don't know, I feel like this is a little bit more informal. So, okay. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna try to do a little bit more of this. We're definitely gonna try to do a little bit more of this. So I'm on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, row 7. Okay, this is where we got to start the decreasing process, right? To create the shape of the foot. Because right now, if you're on track, your foot is just kind of like a circle. You crocheting with one hand now? Oh yeah. Oh, so you all are liking this way? Okay. Well, we gotta do more of what we like, right? So we start the decreasing process to change the foot. That's cool. That's cool. Out of these years being in the group, I didn't know. I'm not left-handed. No, that's because everything is backwards. I'm right-handed. I'm right-handed. But everything is kind of flipped because of the camera, so it looks like I'm left-handed. I'm not. I do a lot of things with my left hand, but crocheting is not one of them. Like this is my left. It looks like. I mean, this is my left hand, and it probably you're seeing it like my right. So, um, but yeah, we go from starting off with a circle to getting the little foot point, the little foot shape. And that is how, the way we do that is, you decrease at certain points. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. It's so funny because I keep thinking, like, my favorite aspects of the design. I love the hair, but I also love the accessories, the clothing. Like I really like all of the aspects or components of the design. I like the size of her. I think the size is really good and functional. Um, it makes doing the design quick. And so, if you are familiar, if you're not familiar with the My Kind of Thing University, you'll also know that I teach hair courses, right? I teach courses that teach you how to do a whole wide range of different hairstyles. And once you learn these hairstyles, you can mix and match them. You can put them together with other techniques and stuff. And so I like this design, even though I had a 2 ponytail theme here. Um, and I think I know what I want the hairstyle for this one to be. It's going to be 2 ponytails, but it's going to be, let me see if y'all can guess which hairstyle I've decided to do for this 7th version. I'm excited because it's still going to be 2 ponytails, but it's going to be one of my kind of thing university hair course techniques. 3, 4, 5, and 6, I believe. Is that what I'm supposed to do? Yeah. Anybody got any guesses? Any guesses as to what hairstyle I have decided to give the 7th version? Nope, not cornrows. So cornrows is actually the 6th version. The cornrows, I did not include in the pattern. I think I showed y'all. I'm still working on this design, man. It is giving me so much because I still have to add her beads. I feel like her 2 ponytails, her cornrows are, yeah, they're good. But, and the other thing that I want to do too is I got to give her some baby hairs. So, yeah, so this one, the orange girl, she's going to have cornrows. So not cornrows. Anybody else got any other guesses as to what the next or the 7th hairstyle is going to be for the 7th version of this design? And then here's another thing that I did that I am really, I haven't done it yet, but I picked out the materials for it. I think I mentioned it last week in part 1. It's optional. You totally don't have to loop ponytail. Nope. Not coils or curls. Nope. I thought about coils or curl ponytails, but I was like, nah. Braids with the ball shape. Okay, so Dr. Felicia Williams Jackson. I feel like you might, I don't know if you know the term because you're new here. So that's what we didn't do. We didn't say welcome to all of the new people who are new to My Kind of Thing and My Kind of Thing University. I think you might know what it is. You might not know, I guess, what we call it here in My Kind of Thing University. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pigtails is what we called them. There we go. Dash, you got it. Kona, the pony puff hairstyle, and I don't even have a reference around. My reference is all the way over there, and I don't want to mess up the camera. And I got so much stuff because, like I said, I'm packing and whatnot, so I don't want to move too much. But the pony puff banding hairstyle is what I am doing for this one. And I'm excited because it's gonna complete the whole theme, I think. And then so once you have your clothes and stuff created, right? What I decided that I wanted to do was I wanted to add a little something extra to it. Now I just picked out the materials for it. But I want to put a tulle underskirt of the outfit. So I'm going to do that. Now that I have finished row 8, I'm going to start stuffing. Because what I don't want to do is I don't want to do too much and then have to stretch out my stitches to try to get the stuffing inside. So it's really important that you know, well, for me, I stuff on row 8. You know, just filling out the work that I've done, you know, making sure that, you know, it's not buckling where the decreases are. You know, you don't want it to look like her legs or her feet are socks. And the funny thing is, this design is wearing sandals. And I didn't think about it until after the fact that I should have gave her toes. I can still later on go in and give her toes, but that's so tedious. I don't know if I'm gonna The reason why I'm going by Kona is because there's a dude on YouTube who goes by Dashy, and I don't want people to think I'm trying to copy him. Okay. Okay, well, I just, I know who you are, but I know that there are other people who probably don't. Pilar Fernandez. I don't know what that letter means or that symbol means. Let's see, I'm on row 9, right? Yeah, we're gonna finish in a timely manner, and we're all gonna have a finished doll to show for. Because right after this, we got to get into the next thing, the next design. Because we're already kind of behind. Well, I don't want to say behind. This year, I did 2 years straight of crochet alongs every day. I mean, not every day, every month. And that is hard work. That is really hard work. Um, I want to revisit certain designs. Like, I want to redo Aisha with my kind of string yarn. Because funny enough, when I was choosing the colors for my kind of string, I had Aisha and Malik in mind. So all of the colors that I use from these other companies to do them, and I use Shapies to design those designs because I designed them for the Crochet magazine. Yeah. I'm gonna have to remember to keep that somewhere where I can see it. But the yarn that they sent me to design with is called Shapies. It's a cotton and acrylic blend, which is really good. If that's the other yarn that I would use if I couldn't get my hands on acrylic. I don't mind the cotton and acrylic blend, but I still prefer acrylic. Okay, so now that I have done row 9, rows 10 through 22, no increasing or decreasing. So I'm just going to put my stitch marker there so that I can just keep going without having to stop to move the stitch marker. But yeah, so this is gonna be really cute, and like I said, I already got the tool and whatnot for the for each one of the dolls. Now the thing is, I gotta find the ribbon because I have corresponding ribbon for most of the tool that I have. But does anybody have any questions on this lovely Friday evening? Anybody have any questions? It is going to be a very long weekend for me. That's why I wanted to explain. Oh, no problem. Just want to make sure I'm not like missing any important questions or comments. Because sometimes when I start crocheting, I can get really, really engrossed and then forget like to look up and be like, oh, But so last time when we were crocheting together, you were moving really fast, Dashy. Concentrated on row 24. Okay. So that's another thing. I have to do more video clips to show y'all some of the techniques that I've created specifically for my kind of doll making. Like, I really need to make them available on YouTube because the knees and stuff that I do, I don't know that anybody does knees that way. I kind of just came up with that while I was working on a design years ago for when I was first trying to do little things like toes and elbows and stuff like that. Um, the other thing is stuffing as you go, especially when you go from a big opening to a small opening. You don't want to have to try to get a lot of stuffing through a small amount of space. So before you start making it really, really small, you want to make sure that you fill up the big space before you start going into the, the ankle and the leg. Because like I said, you don't want to stretch out your stitches. It makes no sense to use the right hook size, to use the right ply weight, and to do all of your decreasing and whatnot, and then be stretching those stitches out. That's a good way to mess up your decreases or to expose where you've decreased. I think Emanuela was saying last time that her stuffing was showing through the decreases, and you got to be mindful not to try to stuff after the decreases too much. On the faux stitch, you know what? I have a YouTube video for it. You can go through the YouTube. It's with yellow yarn. There's a YouTube video for the faux stitch. Unless you're talking about when you close up the yarn. When you close up, like when you finish off the row. Because I have like two like fake. Oh, you know what? I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the when you finish and fasten off. Yeah, like those things. And you know what? Feel free, right, to give me suggestions as to what kind of techniques you'd like to see in more depth, because I think that's what I want to use this YouTube channel for. Okay, the faux stitch. Yeah, because the thing about the faux stitch is it'll trick you. Hello, feet lover. Welcome. Yeah, the thing is, my faux stitch has tricked me on plenty of occasions, and so that's a sign that it's a really good, I've done it really well. But it can also, right, you can mistake it for a real one, because feet lover is a funny name. I hope that you're not offended by that. Feet lover is a funny name. Okay, so let's see. Oh, I hate that I have the sniffles like this. It's 10 to 22, 10, 11, 12, 16, 17. You know what? Let me get a paper towel. Because I do not like the sniffling. Then I'm wearing makeup because I try to be cute on camera for y'all. I ain't trying to come on here ashy and crusty. My hands might get a little bit ashy because I be washing them a lot though. But outside of that, I don't want to look all dry in the face and whatnot. So, trying to put my best foot forward. But if you are new here, or if you're watching on the replay and you are a crocheter and no, why jump to that conclusion, feet lover? That's not what the laugh was. The laugh was, it is an odd title to go by. That's all. But make sure you just, be nice here now. We're not used to having these kinds of lives and whatnot in public. Usually you know, our lives and things are in a nice little private community space that we've curated. And so we don't usually get like, okay, I'm just saying, like, you know, jump to hate now. I ain't say nothing about hate. It is it's a funny name to go by. Um, but yeah, normally, for those of you who are new here, who have never seen or is not familiar with My Kind of Thing and My Kind of Thing University, um, there are loads and loads of groups that I've created over on Facebook. They are closed in that the way to access them, you have to have purchased access to the design. But you know, you must always cherish the gifted with about feet. Just okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. And the funny thing is, you know, I laugh, but I know there's a whole sector of folks who like feet. You know, like really. So, you know. Hey Sandra, welcome. But yeah, so we're moving and grooving. We're moving and grooving. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Two more rows. And then we got to put those knees in. I don't know about a lot of things, a few things. Not even a few things. I just know from a sociological standpoint. Not often. Um, we're going to try to stick to the topic of crochet mostly because I am by no stretch of the imagination any kind of expert on feet or anything feet related other than I have them and I mostly use them for walking. Yeah. Hey Karen! 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. I got one more row. And I'll be on row 22. Let me see. I didn't see what you said. Emanuela. Row. What row? Let me know what you mean by row. I'm getting better at it. I jumped the gun. No problem. Feet lover. I just think about them in terms of walking. Outside of walking and running, I don't think about them much. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Your hands are moving so fast. No, I'm on row 22. This is 22 right now. And so now I'm going to stuff it a little bit. Now here's a trick. What I will say is for my knees and elbow technique, you do not want to stuff while doing that technique because you need to be able to see inside. Definitely need to be able to see inside because creating that little bump that creates the knee requires you to go back. Okay, now feet lover. We off the topic of feet. This is not a feet space. This is a crochet space. That's not, you know, we're good on that. But thank you for coming in and hanging out. You know, but I have no more information on feet. We do crochet here. um, okay, so I got it stuffed. um, thank you, Sandman. Um, You cannot, feet lover. Like, seriously. Um, no, thank you. Um, this is crochet based. Okay, so now that we are on row 22, um, well, we're on row 23 now. Now, here's the trick about row 23. Like I said, for row 23, there is a component. Oh, thank you, Sandman. I kinda got it, but I didn't want to, be rude. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, right? And then after that 7th stitch, we are going to then do half double crochets in the next 4 stitches in the front loops only. So when you're doing these half double crochet stitches in the front loops only, be mindful that that leaves those back loops out, right? And then I think it's a single crochet in the remaining stitch. Yep. Right, now this is the trick of the knees that makes it really, really cool, and it's what makes it stand out. So then we're going to crochet in the first 7 stitches again, right? And then when we get to where we did those half double stitches, now the pattern says, because we're on 24 now, half double crochet in the front loops and back loops of the previous row. Now, I don't know how clear that is, because sometimes when I'm doing something that I kind of made up, it's hard for me to explain it when it doesn't exist in crochet, meaning there is no technique or stitch that requires this in this way. So basically, the next 4 half double crochets we're going in the front loops only of the half double crochet, and then down to that back loop only of the previous row. It creates that kind of that little bump that ultimately becomes her knees, right? And so we're going to do that in the next 4 stitches. And I know that it might be a little bit difficult to see those back loops that you left out. That's why you don't want to stuff it, because you want to be able to see those back loops, because you still got to go down into them. For those of you who did the Haven crochet along, remember that vest, the doll's knees that I've been doing? That was the inspiration for the buckle vest that I did for the Haven crochet along, and for Wendy's bubble vest. So y'all got that? You understand that aspect? Did you get the little knees? See the little knees? So we're catching the front loop of the current row, and the back loop of the stitches that we missed in the last row. Yep, that's exactly what you're doing. It creates like the little bump for the knees. Yep. And I know that sometimes it looks strange in the pattern, because some of these techniques, like I said, they're specifically for a certain purpose. Like, I'm using this technique for knees. I don't know that it's anything that anybody uses anywhere else for any other kind of thing. I just know that this is what works out for me in creating what looks like knees on a doll. Okay, so now that I got that, increasing on the first stitch, because now we're kind of creating the thighs. So increase, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we increase again, and then we crochet in the remaining 5 stitches, I believe. Yep. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then for rows 26 through 26 through 31, it's just straight single crochet, and that allows us to have just a little subtlety of her little dies. See, it's subtle. It's not too drastic. Really, really cute though. Oh, it's starting to rain again. It's been a very rainy week. A very, very rainy week. Oh my goodness. Is it supposed to rain tomorrow here in New York City? Yeah, you know what? I did I really love the second version of the forgive me. The second version of the Haven crochet along design. The first version of the vest was really, really difficult. I think I made it a little bit more difficult than it needed to. It's hot in Georgia. Oh, you're in Georgia. Wait, did Tater Tot graduate yet? Has she graduated yet, or is she graduating next week? Tell Tater Tot I said congratulations. Look, I gotta stop calling her Tater Tot now. She's a young adult. I don't know if that's cool. But yeah, we're almost finished this leg. Now here's the thing. The pattern says for rows 26 through 31, but because I have done this with this design, you know, the color change that I have to do in order to get the orange and the yellow on here is I have to stop at 30. So I'm gonna go 26 to 30, and then I'm gonna change the color on 31, and then again on 32, in order for it to meet the color change that I need for this design. But that's just me. Follow the pattern, unless you're doing a rainbow version too. Yeah. Did you? I didn't get it. No, where'd you send it? Because I didn't see that. Or maybe I wasn't near my iPad. Okay. I'm a look when this is over. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. I met Tater Tot when she was 10 going on 11. You know I still got that picture of her when she tried on one of the hats that I made. Every now and then it comes up on my Google Photos. That is so crazy. I swear time just be doing what it want to do. Time just be happening. It just be happening. But yeah. I'm just like, oh my gosh. Did I share with the world that my niece Winter, who Winter Day is modeled after, my Winnie, is having a baby? Oh my goodness. Forgive my sniffles, y'all, like seriously. I can't stand feeling congested, especially when it stops me from like working straight through. My Winter, my Winnie is gonna be somebody's mother. And the crazy thing, right? She shared it with everybody on Mother's Day. And first I was like, oh my gosh, that's so crazy. But then, and of course, there was tears, because whatever. Um, but then I started just thinking like I was there for her birth, like I was in the room when she was born. My mother thought it was the funniest thing because I was traumatized. My mother thought it was a cool way for me to deter me from getting pregnant too soon or whatever, right? She thought me being there with my older sister would be some kind of deterrent. Now, I will say this. If I wasn't already deterred, being there for the birth of Winter, I'm going to tell you, my sister did traumatize me because the way she acted out while in labor was like in the movies. It's like in the movies where the woman is screaming, and it was crazy, and it was too late for her to get the epidural. So catch up to everyone when I get home, so they have to slow down. I don't know, Karen. They trying to not be delinquents. Hey, say we trying not to be delinquents no more. We trying to do better. So I don't know if we can wait, Karen. You see all of the people that are posting, everybody that's posting in the My Kind of String Facebook group. And then we got overachievers that are doing multiples at a time. Like, I don't know, Karen. I think people have committed to saying, like, nah, we will not be delinquent today. I think that's the stance that everybody's taking. Even me. Well, I'm kind of delinquent because y'all see that girl in the orange. She still doesn't have her body parts aren't put together. Her beads aren't on her braids. It's a whole thing. So yeah, um, you know, we try not to be delinquents though. We're crocheting together so that we can all finish together. And when we finish together, we can hold up our finished product and be like, boom, we did it. So let's see. What did I say? 26 to 30, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Yep. So this is where I cut mine off, but you go to 31. This way I cut mine off, and then I gotta make my little faux stitch. Yeah, I gotta, Lisa, you gotta remind me to make sure that I give a clear video on that faux stitch, because it is a very specific way to not just create it, but also to use it in a way where when you do the color change, it minimizes the visibility of where you change the color. So there's that. Now it is really raining. Oh, and you know what? Brandon is outside. I hope he has his umbrella, because I don't know if he had it. He's out hitting things. Yeah, shoot. And I have my notifications turned off, so I need to know if he's sending me a message. I hope he got his umbrella. It would be so annoying if he's out carrying all of the bags and stuff and it's raining and he's getting wet. Okay. So, change the color to Firelight for me, and then Summer Shine, because that's the order of the rainbow that we're going in. You see all that? You see all that? We're actually really, we're doing it. We're doing it. People are actually I feel good about this. I feel like, yes, it's gonna get done. We got it, Okay. And so I'm just going to put my orange on right here, or my Firelight. I don't know if y'all are familiar. My kind of string has a special kind of orange. It's called Firelight. it is a very vibrant orange. And not for nothing, this orange always looks really, really good with brown sugar. I've put it together before, but I really, really enjoy seeing the brown sugar touching the firelight. It looks really, really nice. Now with the faux stitch, Lisa, when you do the faux stitch to close up and then you go on top of it with another color, right? What I do is I do a decrease stitch using the faux stitch. That way I include it instead of skipping over it, which depending on how loose you crochet, you know, it might create a hole. So you don't wanna skip over it. And then I'm gonna change the color. So that when I attach these legs to the body, and I can use Magic Moss or Summer Shine, it depends. When I attach them, it'll look really good because, you know, it'll be in the rainbow color order, you know? And that's always fun to look at. You know, what hairstyle, Barbette? So Barbette says, you know what hairstyle I really slept on? What hairstyle? The hyperbolic puff. You know what? Shout out to Dawn Jessie. For those of you who know, Dawn Jessie was the one who inspired that. I had done hyperbolic crochet years ago when here in New York City I was part of the Harlem Knitting Circle, and a lot of times we would donate pieces and things to projects. The thing is, I love the way it looks. I hate doing it. Like, I don't like doing it. The increasing on top of increasing on top of increasing. Oh, I don't. It's boring to me. It looks good, but it's boring. You know what it reminds me of, though? When it's done, it reminds me of like the 90s hairstyles where the women would have like the curls, and they would be sprayed, and they would be so hard and in place, like they won't move. That's what it reminds me of. I like the look, but I don't like doing them. And it's funny because I prefer doing the textured Afro puff, which is also tedious, over the hyperbolic puff. And I can't explain how I don't like doing it, but I like what it looks like. And so the last time I did it was for the Candy Girl design. And so anybody who's viewing this video and who's not a crocheter and you're interested in having a crochet doll made, I actually have custom slots open. So I only take a limited amount though. So if you're interested in getting your very own crochet doll made, make sure I got the right amount of stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14. I'm about to say. But yeah, so this is gonna look really cool once I attach them, because it's gonna go in that rainbow order. And that's always cool to see. The vibrant colors. The fun of it all. Stuff it a little bit more, not too much, because remember when we attach the legs, you will have to pinch this closed to attach the legs. And if you stuff it too much, it becomes really difficult to pinch, and then it becomes really difficult to attach. But let me just give you a little brief look at what it looks like. Can you see? And once it's attached, it'll look much more seamless, the color change. But yeah. So it's gonna be good. It's gonna be really good. We got a leg, and that was kind of quick, no? We got a leg. Now here's the thing, because like I said, I'm not gonna do all 4 limbs on camera. I'm gonna do one leg, and then we're gonna do another arm. And we're gonna do another arm. We're gonna do an arm. Okay. So, and technically, I don't recommend this. I recommend doing the legs at the same time, like meaning like don't do something else if you have to do legs or anything in pairs, because you know, putting it down and coming back to it, your tension might change, and then you'll have visibly uneven legs or limbs. So I don't recommend what I'm about to do, but for the sake of teaching and crocheting together, you know, we're gonna move to the arms. Yeah, the hands and arms. Does anybody have any questions? 1, 2, 3, 4. Any questions? Hmm. It's so funny. I have so many different doll sizes and styles now that I have to go through and organize, like who's who. And then I had the nerve to be moving things and packing up stuff, and I found the book that I first started designing in 2018. Because in 2018, Yolanda was like, listen, from now on, you need to be designing. You can't, I mean, you shouldn't just, she suggested that I should no longer just be crocheting, and then, you know, I should just always write down what I'm doing. And so I had started with this book. I got it. It's really sparkly and all of that stuff. And this was around the time that I had just bought my Cricut maker. And Yolanda was up here for some event. I can't remember what the event was. But I had got the Cricut maker in like January of 2018. But I did not take that thing out the box until when Yolanda had came up here, and that was in like May. And it was so funny because I was like, I bought it specifically for a couple of things, you know, but it was so intimidating to me because I'm horrible with technology. And Yolanda's the opposite. Yolanda will figure stuff out. For those of you who don't know Yolanda of My Pretty Brown Doll, you definitely should check out My Pretty Brown Doll. Because she also does amazing crochet dolls, and she has this really dope crochet doll book that's published, and it's dope and awesome, and they are brown hands, her actual hands in the photos for the book. But yeah, she used it and showed me how to use it and whatnot, and the material that she cut, it was felt. I used it to decorate this book. But I say all this to say, I found that book, and that was from 2018. There's so many things that I've improved on, so many things that I do different now, that now I want to look at that book and revisit some of the designs and revamp them. And so that's probably something that I'm going to be doing next. In that book is the mini doll series. For those of you who have taken the My Kind of Thing University mini doll courses, it's a 4-part series. 1, 2, 3. It's where I implemented toes, knees, and elbows for the first time, and it's my toes and stuff techniques have evolved over time. And so there's a lot of things that I want to kind of look in and be like, oh, there's so many things that I did that I forgot about, or things that I didn't finish, because I also have a bunch of what I call duds. So there's that. But yeah. So it's a lot of things that I want to kind of redo. And I'm going through a major transition, so I can't even say, I don't know that it's going to slow things down per se, but we're gonna make it do what it do, because I'm a crocheter. And this is what I do. So I am on row 4 of the hands and arms. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the first, yeah. Does anybody have any questions? Any questions? Anything that is confusing or needs further explanation? Let me see. Y'all with me? Y'all with me? Y'all still here? Or y'all working? Is that what's happening? Y'all are working quietly? Is that what's happening? Okay. What row am I on? 1, 2, 3, 4. Row 5. Whew. What does B-O mean in row 4? A bobble stitch. It should be B-O-B. Bobble stitch. How many sets do you do for your bobbles? Now here's a trick. For the thumb of the doll, I do 5 yarn overs. For the belly button, I only do 3. Because I want her to have an outie, but I don't want it to be like obnoxious. So for the thumb, hitchhiker thumb or thumbs up, she is 5, because I want it to be very prominent. But for the belly button, I only do 3 yarn overs. So let's see for row 6. All right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm on row 5. So I have to skip. How many 6 stitches? Okay. You're welcome. Yep. You know what's so interesting though? Learning how to explain some of the things that I do in the realm of crochet, and realizing, right, that I'm not a stickler for sticking to every aspect of the design. As a matter of fact, I have always, even while learning, had a hard time. And I don't want to say hard time. I just never liked doing exactly as the pattern says. You know, the pattern would be like, I just always felt like, okay, I like what this looks like, but I want to change it, So I would be modifying sometimes. And sometimes I would modify out of just not knowing or understanding what they mean and just looking at the design and saying, well, this is probably what they mean. I'm not sure, but what they're saying doesn't make sense. I'm going to do what I think makes sense. It's also how I learned and how I got really good. It's also one of the reasons why this whole thing is called my kind of thing, because back when I was learning, um, and when I say learning, I learned from books. I learned before YouTube was a thing, which is such a funny thing to say, because when I talk to my nieces and nephews about the time before YouTube, they're in awe about it. Like, it's the funniest thing to see. Like, they can't imagine a world where YouTube didn't exist. I said, well, if you can imagine a world where YouTube didn't exist, you know what'll blow your mind? There was a time when phones was attached to the wall. Oh, remember when phones were attached to the wall? Remember how when you would step outside and that was it? Nobody didn't know where you were until you got to the destination? Like, all kinds of things could have transpired in between your starting point and your ending point. There was no means of a play-by-play from point A to point B. You started off at point A, and however you managed, you got to point B. Occasionally, maybe a payphone in between. I remember, and I'm going to tell you, I say this, I probably said this so many times. To me, the greatest invention ever, to me, in my opinion, has been FaceTime. The cell phone and FaceTime. Greatest invention in my lifetime, to me. The amount of times that I found myself out and about, untraceable. At the time, I was a teenager, I was young, so it didn't really matter, because I kind of wanted to be in limbo of sorts, because the times when I probably was going places that I should not have gone, or that my mother didn't know I was going to. Now you can call and tell your kid, let me see the background, let me see who's there, let me see where you at, But I remember, I'm gonna tell you specifically what I always think of when I think of is two movies, and this was when cell phones and video call was science fiction, which I think is just the most amazing thing. To have watched movies at a time where something didn't exist, and now to live in a time where it does exist, is amazing to me. Absolutely amazing to me. That being said, Total Recall and Demolition Man. I remember Demolition Man in particular. I don't remember how old I was when Demolition Man came out with Wesley Snipes. And remember when they had unfroze Sylvester Stallone's character, and he had to get acclimated to society because he had been in cryogenic state for like 70 something years. And it's so funny when I think about it, because I remember thinking like, oh my gosh, if video phones were real. First off, How many of y'all have seen Demolition Man? Are y'all familiar with Demolition Man? I'm a huge science fiction person. Like, I love the genre of science fiction and fantasy. That's my genre. You might be able to tell by the designs that I create and whatnot. That's my vibe, right? But there was a scene where, you know, he got into his new apartment. They had set him up with his new apartment, and you know, all of these different things like was voice activated and all this stuff. Now, mind you, this is in a time where these things didn't exist. Now, voice activation and all of that stuff exists. You have Siri and all of that other all this other technology. Do you know how to crochet using a mic ox long method? No, I don't even know what that is. I've never heard of that. What is that? Mike Oxlong? I have to look that up. I've never heard of that. What is that? But what happens is he's in his apartment and he's and this girl, this lady, I guess dials the wrong number, and she's video calling who she thinks is her boyfriend, and she is naked, and she's like, oh my gosh, wrong number. I thought that was so hilarious because I said, oh my gosh, it's like somebody coming in your house, like literally picking up the phone. You're in the house now. So again, even doing this is science fiction, or was science fiction when I was young. So I don't know. I am just like, it's just always amazing to me to be seen and heard by people in so many different places. Remember long distance calling, right? Remember how, oh my gosh, I remember one time, and probably all of us at some point had ran up our parents' bill on some long distance. But I remember I knew that I was like I made it, I arranged it with my mother in a way, like I was working and whatnot, so I was like, I had a boyfriend, and he was from Jamaica, and he was visiting Jamaica, and we just could not go without speaking to each other for that time frame. So I kind of did get a little long distance joint going with my mother, and I had to pay that. It wasn't crazy, like it wasn't like thousands of dollars or even hundreds of dollars like that, but it was. But remember long distance calling? Now, like, look at us. Where is everybody from? Because I'm here in the Bronx in New York City, right? But to be able to not only be talking, but to be showing and sharing and talking. One of the most amazing things again was when I started the My Kind of Thing University, I had students that were in England, and I remember it was a 6-hour time difference. Also, you're in Kansas, Dr. Felicia Williams Jackson. This is what I'm saying. I'm amazed by it. I know that it's not even like it's new technology. I'm old enough to remember party lines. It's amazing to me. To me, certain technology is amazing. Oh, you live in Ohio? Okay, but you're in Kansas right now. Okay. This is what I'm saying. Like, how amazing is this? I hate technology and I love it at the same time. I really do. One of the other things that video calling did for me during COVID, because I couldn't go visit my mother because I didn't want her to get sick. She had comorbidities for COVID, and I didn't want to. I don't remember a party line. I don't know what a party line is. What was a party line? Now I live in Jersey. Okay, but isn't this amazing that we're like talking and kicking it, and we're in different places? I'm telling you, I know it sounds so ridiculous, and I'm never gonna not be amazed by it. I'm so amazed that sometimes I'm like, I need to know how this actually works. Yeah, I don't know what a party line is. And maybe, you know, there's some things that I just missed. I missed out on. I was born in 82. So I don't know. What's the party line? Because I don't know that. I mean, and again, it doesn't really mean like, because, you know, 43 is not young. A line between at least two other neighbors share. No, I never heard of that. Never had that. Hmm. That sounds exciting. How about this? I remember, because I'm one of 7 children. I come from a big family. You know, for a while we didn't even have sometimes we didn't have a landline. Like, that was another thing. You know, we were functioning sometimes without a landline. You know, I didn't know you could listen to their conversation and vice versa. Really? Huh. Didn't know about that. Yeah, old enough to remember a party line. Yeah, see, I've never heard of that. And I mean, just because I never heard of it doesn't mean like, it's really a slight on me sometimes, because there are literally things that I've like, I don't even want to say I lived a sheltered life, but I was so focused sometimes that there were things that I literally missed out on as a adolescent and stuff. Oh, okay, 1960. Okay, not ancient. Ancient. My mother was born in 59, so you know, born in 85 in Canada. Party line was okay. A 1-800 number you could call would group people together. Huh? I've never heard of that. Huh? I gotta ask people, because sometimes I just be out of the loop. There are things that I just anybody, like, even I'll have friends that be like, "Where were you?" I don't know. I don't know where I was. Probably working, going to school, like a freaking, I don't know. I was a really like I put a lot of pressure on me as a young adult, and so that pressure resulted in me missing out on a lot of things that people my age would, you know, just didn't necessarily miss out on. So when I don't know something, I don't be like, oh, we didn't have it or it didn't exist. It's just, nope, I probably missed out on that one. The amount of movies that I get threatened to get my black card taken about. My brother ran up the phone bill to thousands of dollars in what? IT was invasive, but it could be fun when you could get the gossip firsthand. Oh my gosh, that sounds like, it sounds like the precursor for like Facebook, right? I guess. That's crazy. Yep, and like I said, sometimes we even have a landline. We didn't have a phone. Sometimes, you know, another thing, growing up, we didn't have cable. I'm one of 7. You know, it was my mother, my father, and the 7 of us in the same 3-bedroom apartment, and occasionally, aunts, uncles, or cousins. So, yeah, it's a lot of us, and we didn't have all the things. So, party line, I am not aware of. Shoot, I remember even when we had a phone, I found the TV. Expected. Oh wow, on the party line. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. That's crazy. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I remember like my parents to a certain degree were really, really strict. I couldn't use the phone without asking. What was 1,000 times more wild than party lines was mid-90s Yahoo internet messaging boards. Okay, now I'm around for that, but even then I got internet late. All of that kind of stuff. I got Yahoo and all of that stuff really, like, I got email late. I even got Facebook. You know, my Facebook page, the first Facebook page I ever got, or well, the only one I've ever had, I didn't get onto Facebook until 2010. Like, I just, born in 1955, I remember when someone else would be on the phone in another house and they would have to get off so you could use the phone. What? That's crazy. That's crazy. You see how far technology has come? Like, I'm telling you, these new kids, they don't understand. They really don't understand, like, how we was out here. I was talking to my goddaughter, and the most interesting conversation ever. She didn't understand buying music, buying music to listen to it. She only understands streaming and downloading. She does not understand physical music, like going to get it, having to purchase it, and then put it in a machine specifically made to play it. She didn't understand it. We were talking about music, and I said something about buying it. She's like, "What do you mean buying it?" And at first, I had to realize, like, oh shoot, she's serious. Like, she's really serious. Anyway, I say all this to say, to me, in my opinion, and I don't know that there's anything, unless they come up with flying cars before I die, I am going to stand on the fact that, to me, the most impressive piece of technology is cell phones and video calls. FaceTime. FaceTime and cell phones are, to me, the most impressive technology in my lifetime. To be out in the world and to be able to call some. I remember when car phones came out, that was impressive. It was kind of like, a phone in the car? That's crazy. You know, that was so crazy. And here we are in 2025, and when you look at all the movies and they were showing like 2020 whatever, we are behind. I'm trying to see what these flying cars is doing. That's where I'm at with it. That's the one thing I'm like, okay, I don't know who's doing the things and who's making the advancements in technology and who's leading. I don't know. And like I said, technology don't love me or whatever. Brick is what they were called. Yeah. Wait. That's crazy. Yeah, I need them flying cars to pop off. Like, I need them to stop playing with that. And let me see where I'm at, because I'm running my mouth and y'all just letting me. So for 7 through 13, right? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, right there. Now we got to work on the elbows. And look, after I finish this arm, we're going to call it a good Friday night, right? Yeah, we're going to call it a good Friday night, because I don't want to keep y'all too long, and we're just going to do the other arm and the other leg off camera. I would be scared of the flying cars. You know what? That's the thing. So, Zay, I'm going to tell you. This is why I was like, you know, the flying cars, when you think about it and you've seen it in movies, and then I even think of the Jetsons and whatnot, right? I'm thinking like, yeah, flying cars, but the logistics of the matter, right, is, oh my gosh, flying cars, car crashes, right? What if I'm walking down the street, freaking car crashes overhead? People in the car, done, and so am I when the debris lands on me. So there is, or has to be, I guess, some sort of system in place of preventing, um, people, so when I was young in the year 2000, we were supposed to be riding in flying cars, World Fair in the 60s. Yeah, like flying cars, not even that, hoverboards. Like, the thing about it is, in the movies they make flying cars seem like, yeah, that's a cool thing, but in reality it's like, what about us people walking on the sidewalk? And here in New York, we on the streets. you know Most people, I don't even want to say most people, but a lot of people in New York City don't even drive, because it's a hassle to drive here. It's a hassle to drive, it's a hassle to park. And so we don't really do a whole bunch of driving here in New York City for the most part. So yeah, I've never seen Lost in Space, but the Jetsons, I used to be like, look at them, high, sky high building, Rosie the robot, all of that wonderful stuff, but we ain't even, Again, I think FaceTime and the cell phone has been the most innovative pieces of technology because of their usefulness and to be realistic, because of how accessible they are for everybody. Sleeping in your car waiting for a parking spot, yeah, no thank you, yes. And legitimately, that's some of what how it goes down here in New York City, like circling the block, burning gas, circling the block. My brother, it used to be so bad as far as him with parking, that he would park and then take a Uber to his house from where he parked his car, type situation. And it's like, just, yeah, New York City is the worst for driving. And then insurance prices are extremely high. Car insurance is high here. It's just a pain in the neck. So we're on row 14 now. And so it's that half double and the front loops only. We should have made it to Alpha Center. Right? Or at least, you know what? Not Alpha Centauri, but could somebody please get back to the moon? Hi, Anika. When you cut and fasten off, do you recommend joining in the first stitch before this? When I cut and fasten off, I cut and I create the faux stitch. Um, I hope I'm saying your name right, Nasira. But yeah, I cut and I just pull it all the way through, and then I create the faux stitch. I think I've shown that before, but I'm gonna have to do a video, like really showing my hands doing that, so that people can kind of see what that means. But yeah, forget Alpha Centauri. I would like to know when they going back to the moon. It's a faux stitch. Are you Goldie Turner? Because I know that people's names are different in different spaces and places. If you are Goldie Turner, you are in a few crochet alongs where I explain that in the assembly portion. And so you might want to look into, I don't have them timestamped. Okay. Yeah, so the faux stitch is, I show it whenever I'm finishing off arms or legs or even the bodies and the courses. So all you have to do is fast forward to the end of an arm or a leg, and on camera you'll see what I mean by the faux stitch. But yeah, that whole moon landing joint, I'm telling you, I don't want to be like sounding like a conspiracy theorist, but y'all ain't even got flying cars. I'm thinking y'all ain't really go to the moon. Especially since y'all ain't been back since, supposedly. But I'm not one of those folk. I'm just saying, like, it's just basic logic and reason, right? If you ever went, why you ain't ever been back? And then, I don't know, because the other thing is, even stuff still having like bad pictures and stuff, like, I always am suspicious when I see camera footage of today. Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to be one of those, strange people that's saying things, but it don't make logical sense to me that you went and you ain't been back since. That don't really, not even once. Like, it should just be a freaking, if Gail and them is going to space, okay, you know what? See, this is what happens when I relax. I start sounding. If Gail and them have gone to space, for however many minutes or whatever, and they're not even trained astronauts or anything like that. You tell me why y'all ain't been back to the moon. Hmm. Somebody better say something, you know? Like, how long y'all supposed to act like? I'm just saying. And I'm gonna get off that because, you know, sometimes when you talk about certain things, it perks up the wrong type of attention. And I ain't even on it like that. I'm just saying it don't make much sense to me. Okay, so we got an elbow. And to get the elbow, it's the same technique as for the knees, but instead of 4, I think for the knees um, it was 2, because the arms are small. I only ever completed Shimmy the Baby Mermaid, so I don't remember it. And it's in all of them. If you did Shimmy, it's in that too. At the end of her oh wait. I just realized, you know what? If you've not been in any of the workshops, it's not necessarily the crochet alongs. You're not guaranteed to be in the crochet alongs. You're in a couple of workshops, I do believe. I just realized in the crochet alongs, I'm not doing those things on camera. Yeah, in the workshops where I'm crocheting on camera, if you're in any of those, and I do believe that you are in at least one of those, you would be able to see it's a finishing technique. Yeah, the wind is just blowing. Is that what's happening? Yeah. Come on, window open. Okay. Seriously? But yeah. And so now that I got my little elbow, you see the elbow. Now we're going to do row 16, which is an increase every 3 stitches. Yeah. Yeah. We're almost done. Like I said, I don't want to keep y'all for hours and hours like how we used to, you know, when we do workshops. But like 2 hours and some change is enough for us to be like, yeah, we got a good amount done. Yep. Yep. I gotta do some laundry. That's the other thing. On a Friday night, that's how I'm giving it up. Crocheting and then some laundry. Okay, now that I've increased every 3 stitches, 17 through 22. I think that's how we do. Yep, 17 through 22. But yeah, no flying cars, no second trip to the moon. I'm starting to wonder what's really good with us, Earth. And then I don't know if y'all been like looking or listening to all of the the alien talk. Like, oh, we got aliens. I always think it's funny, the alien talk, because there's always this kind of idea like excuse me, like aliens are supposedly our inferior or whatever. Like, it's always this in the movies and stuff, you see that humans always win the war and all that, and I'm like, that makes absolutely no sense. If we can't get back to the moon and they have gotten all the way to us from wherever they was at, I'm just gonna go ahead and say, yo, y'all got this. I don't want to be a slave. I don't want my people to be slaves no more. Whatever you're gonna do, just let's not do slavery. Y'all got it. Y'all want the planet? Okay, just we can't fight. We can't fight. We're not gonna win. We don't even know how y'all got here. We can't even do flying cars. So I'm just saying. You can have the planet, fine. Just leave us a little piece, so that we can live. Don't kill us and don't make us slaves. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, that's my science fiction rant for the evening. This is just how my mind works, especially while I'm crocheting. If I'm not listening to a book or listening to a movie that I am barely able to follow along because I'm not necessarily watching. But yeah, science fiction is fun, especially when science fiction becomes reality and it's no longer science fiction. And I think it's kind of cool to have existed when this technology was considered science fiction. Let's see, 17, 18, 19, 20. Let me stuff it a little bit. But does anybody have any questions? Because we're going to be ending soon. And I think we can call this another successful session. Once I got this little arm done. Oh my gosh. I cannot stand that I'm so congested. I don't understand. I was fine. Been fine for days. This is my second show. Are the workshops part of the membership section? So the workshops are a whole kind of different thing. What the workshops are is they are designs done completely on camera. Meaning not like this. The camera is pointed on my hands and I'm literally talking, instructing you through it, piece by piece. Most of the workshops do not have a written pattern for them. They're literally me. You can pause and stop and all of those wonderful things. But it's literally chain such and such and single crochet in the next, and we're doing it, and you can do it at your own pace as a person who watches the replay, so the workshops are like full-on session. And what happens is the workshops are usually done in pieces. So if the doll is done in a bunch of pieces, it'll be like the head one day. And it's just the whole head from start to finish done on camera. And then it'll be like the body the next session. And it'll be the whole body done on camera. And that's how initially the university started. So those workshops are full-on visual tutorials where you get to see and you also get to ask questions as you work through it. If there's anything that's unclear to you while you're working through it. That's one of the beautiful things about the My Kind of Thing University. Once you purchase, you've purchased unlimited access to that information and that content, and you've purchased access to me as it relates to that content. I have people that are purchasing workshops that were conducted from as far back as 2017 when the university was established. So, and my students here can attest to the fact that some of them still refer back to these workshops and things. Because there's a lot of really great innovative techniques in there. And I'm not saying that because it's me. I'm saying that because this is what we have learned over the years. Like I said, we've been doing this since 2017. And that is a large portion of the feedback that I've gotten from my students and participants, that they learn something all the time and they use things that they've learned all the time. So Make sure you subscribe to the My Kind of Thing website so that you can see the latest things that are happening. You can find out some things that you might have missed that you can access and participate in. Sunday, 18, 19, 22. Boom. Last row. The last row is a decrease row. Because I did give her arms a little bit of shaping, not a whole bunch. Let's see, and it's every 3 stitches. Yep. And then we're done with the arm. You see that? You see that? Boom. Finished. And I'm gonna cut that and fasten that off. And we got an arm and we got a leg. Now, your homework is to complete your limbs. Because on Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, on Sunday we are doing, I believe, a wig cap and hair. And you know what? I need to figure out the information, or well, not the information. I need to figure out how I'm gonna design the pony puffs. Like, I think I might use the bun as a base. I'm not sure. I might need something a little bit smaller. And I'm gonna work from there. But the wig cap, the ears, and the hairstyle, I believe, is Sunday. Amen, Wella, you never clarified what you needed to know about the row 15 of the wig cap. But if you have any questions or anything, even prior to Sunday, you can always inbox me and email me. And that goes for everybody who is participating. You know, if there's something that's confusing to you and you don't want to wait until the live, or you won't be available during the live, you know, you can always message me via Facebook Messenger, or you can email me through mykindofthing@yahoo.com or aniqua.wilkerson@gmail.com. But we got an arm and we got a leg. So this is going to be really cool. This is going to be really cool. So with that being said, we did a good thing. I mean, we did a good job. Are y'all feeling good? Are y'all still feeling like we got this? We're going to be, even though we're not going to be delinquents, you still got it. We're still on track. You like the knees? I like the knees too. Are we all on track to not be delinquents, myself included? Ooh, of course. Are we all making strides towards being on task? Yeah, you feel good about it? Okay, like I said, we will be doing part 3 on Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Those of you who ordered the companion packs, they are winding their way too. I know a lot of you have received your companion packs already. What else? Yeah, and if there are any crochet alongs or designs that you have missed out on, they're all still available. I have, you know, there used to be a time where I would only make them available for a certain amount of time. Now I don't do that anymore. They're all available. So if there's anything that you like, that you saw, that you missed, that you didn't get around to doing, definitely subscribe to My Kind of Thing website at mykindofthing.com. You all have been great. We did it. Part 3 on Sunday. Finish your legs and your arms so that when we link up on Sunday, we're ready to go. You all have a great Friday night, and I'll see y'all Sunday. Bye, y'all. And I gotta figure out how to stop. How do we stop? Oh, there we go.